Hi, this is Dennis again, and welcome back to REI Micro Marketing. In the last lecture, I told you a little bit about myself, about how I got started in business, and basically why it might make sense to listen to me because I've done marketing for a really long time. What I want to do in this lecture is give you more of a proper introduction, talk to you a little bit more about what issues we're trying to solve, how we're going to solve it, and why it might be a fit for you. So let's take a few minutes to do that, and then you can reach out to me if you have any questions afterward. So welcome again. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for spending the time here with this, and I look forward to working with you through this course. But the question that I have to ask you is, have you wanted to start real estate investing, but you're on a tight budget? Now, I know because you're here, the answer to that is probably yes. And I know that because, as I mentioned before, I've been working with folks for 2 years, and I've been coaching for 4 years, and I've been teaching real estate for 12 years. So I've been working with folks for a really long time. And the question that I get most often when I'm working with a new person is, how do I market when I don't have much money or I don't have any money? So I understand, I feel for where you're coming from. I've talked to dozens and dozens of people in that same situation. Let me tell you up front though, it's a serious issue, but you need to understand that marketing is the lifeblood of real estate investing. So I'm suggesting spend your money on marketing. Well, why is that? Well, because we're looking for what's called motivated sellers. I'm sure you've heard of that in your research that you've done. But in real estate investing, the motivated seller is the thing that makes the world go round. If you think about it, if nobody finds a motivated seller, a wholesaler can't wholesale, the rehabber can't rehab, and the rental property owner, the landlord, can't rent a house out. So that's where everything starts, is finding motivated sellers. Now, I know that there are a lot of gurus that want to tell you to start with forming a buyer's list. To me, that's counterintuitive. Yes, to do wholesaling, to do rehabbing, you need to have a buyer, but having a buyer's list alone doesn't put a dime of money in your pocket. And the example is that, my situation. As I mentioned, I have a day job. I had a day job for a long time. Well, for the last 6 years, I haven't been looking at houses except for the rentals that I've been buying. So all those deals I mentioned that I did, I haven't really looked at any of those houses personally. I'm just a marketing guy. So what I do is I do the marketing, get the leads, and then I share my leads with partners in different markets. And then we have an arrangement where we split the wholesale fee. So I'm an example where I don't have a buyer's list at all, literally not a single person on my buyer's list. And yet I did 56 deals last year and 77 the year before. Now I challenge you to find somebody that just has a buyer's list that has done that many deals. Now it's possible to do. I'm sure people have done it, but I'm telling you right now, motivated sellers are what puts money in your pocket. The issue that we have, however, is that it takes money to market effectively. And I don't want you to let anyone tell you otherwise. The gurus will tell you, and I'm sure you've heard, that you can market for free. And you can. I know people that do. You can go mine Zillow. You can go mine Craigslist. You can call the for sale by owners. You can call the people that own rentals that are trying to rent out their homes. There's a bunch of different ways to market for free. But the problem that you're going to run into, I'm telling you right now, is you're going to have the most competition possible out there and a very, very, very low probability of success. That's just the way it is. And I don't mean to be a wet blanket. That's just the way it is. We're all struggling. We're all on tight budgets. Even I'm on a tight budget. I don't like to spend a dime more than I have to. And so free looks pretty good. It sounds pretty good, but free is dangerous because free means a ton of competition, because there's a lot of people trying to get started in real estate that don't have any money and they're looking for free. Now, another question that I want to ask you is, are you worried about competing against the big guys? You know who I'm talking about, the guys that are huge, that you see marketing all over the place. Well, my advice to you is you should be. You absolutely should be scared to death about competing against these guys. I know multiple people in my market who send out 50,000 or more postcards per month, every single month, like clockwork. They are machines. They are relentless. They have huge marketing budgets, and they have a lot of people working for their team. One company here locally, they have 8 people in their company. That's a big nut to crack for that owner, because everybody wants to get paid every week. And so these people are sending 50,000 or more cards out per month, every month. So if you think about the cost of doing that, it's huge. You think about the number of people you have to have on your list to send out 50,000 or more postcards a month. They're not sending them out to the same people every month. They're maybe hitting these folks every 2 to 4 months. And so they could easily have 200,000 people on their list. I know one guy that's got 227 or 28,000 people on their list. It's absolutely nuts. So you absolutely must be worried about competing against them. I don't do it. I've been like I said, I've been in real estate investing since 2004. I've dabbled in broader marketing and prospecting, and honestly, I don't want to compete in that space. It's a ton of money. The return on investment is really low for the money, but they make a lot of money if you make sense. If you've got a huge investment, but your return on investment is low, it can still be a big dollar amount that you're bringing in. I don't want to play in that space. It's just not for me, and I recommend you don't either. And that's what we're going to talk about in the program. My statement to you is you can beat them at their own game, though, but it takes a process. It takes some concerted effort on our part, and it takes a particular approach that I'm going to teach you, which is what this course is all about. You need to find a way to break through all the noise and competition. Real estate investing has exploded over the last year to 2 years. I've seen more people enter the market in the last 2 years that probably were in the market to begin with. So the number of real estate investors appears to me to have doubled in the last 2 years. You've got people that I never would have expected that are real estate investors. It's great. It's fine. Basically I say, come on in, the water's fine. Real estate's a great way to make money, and there's a ton of money to be made in this business. But the increased noise and competition makes it more and more difficult to get your marketing message through to the people that you want to get through to and to get noticed. So you need a way to break through the noise and competition. One of the ways to do that is to connect with homeowners on a personal level. I'll show you how to do that. And then you need to find a way to stay in touch with them. This is perhaps one of the most important things that we'll talk about. Doing one touch, contacting somebody, sending them one letter, sending them one postcard, calling them one time. One is the loneliest number in real estate investing. You don't want to just do things once. And for most people that are just starting out, they blow their entire marketing budget on a postcard campaign, and they have nothing else, and they expect that to provide fruit. Now, it can. It's highly unlikely, though. So you've got to be able to stay in touch. So the way to beat the big guys at their own game, break through the noise and competition by connecting with homeowners on a personal level and staying in touch with them. That's how you beat the big guys at their own game. And I call beating the big guys at their own game getting deals. So what is REI Micro Marketing? It's a highly focused niche marketing approach that I've been teaching for 2 years. As I mentioned, I worked with folks back a couple of years ago. They had come to see me. They didn't have a lot of money to spend. They were brand new in the market in real estate investing, and they wanted to get started. And they had a compelling story. And so I sat down with them, and we came up with the back of the envelope action plan, how to do some really, really basic marketing. And I said, go try this. And I said, why don't we tweak this? Why don't we tweak that? And we've been tweaking this and tweaking that for a couple of years now. And we finally got it to the point where we've kind of distilled it down to its core concept. We've gotten it to the point where it's teachable and it's repeatable. So that's what REI Micro Marketing is all about at a high level. It's a marketing plan that you can execute for $200 or less. Now, you can spend more if you want. It's totally fine. The budget that we'll talk about will go through the marketing budget, and you'll see what the cost is broken down by its component parts. And it's a marketing plan that you can work in your spare time. This is important because I'm presuming you're not a full-timer in real estate if you're just getting started. You probably got a day job, family responsibilities, whatnot. You've got other stuff that takes up your time. Well, the great thing is this niche marketing plan is something you can do in your spare time. Again, I've been real estate investing since 2004. I've been a niche marketer. I've had a day job the entire time. So I've had to do marketing that fit into my spare time. I've tried to do the big, like I said, the big prospecting, text marketing, that kind of thing, and it just wouldn't work. I couldn't fit it into my day with work and family and everything like that. So this is a marketing plan that you can definitely work in your spare time. And most importantly, it's a marketing plan that does what we said it needed to do. It breaks through the noise and competition. It connects with homeowners on a personal level. And it's a roadmap to stay in touch with them until they make the decisions they want to sell. So who's this for? Basically, my target market on this is new real estate investors on a tight budget. That's who I've worked with before. That's who I think is going to get a lot of use out of this. But I tell you, and more and more when I talk to experienced real estate investors, they're feeling the pinch as well in terms of all this competition. And they need a way to break through as well. And some of them want to throttle back. They're spending a ton of money on maybe Google pay-per-click, which is not really effective right now. I've seen people throw away tons of money on Facebook ads that aren't working right now. And so they want to do something different. This is something that might work for them. And then finally, real estate investors that need a marketing plan they can execute in their spare time that won't take over their lives. Like I said, pretty much anybody with a day job, this is perfect for, because it's not going to take up your entire life. So let me close up here with some disclaimers. First and foremost, I'm not an attorney. I am not offering any legal advice or guidance. Some of the prospect lists that we're going to talk through, tax defaults, probates, and some others, involve legal proceedings. So if you decide to pursue any of those lists and you have questions about those processes, those are legal processes. So I recommend that you consult a knowledgeable attorney in your area. I am a real estate investor. The information in this course is for educational purposes only. I'm a teacher more than anything else. And you need to understand that real estate investing involves many, many variables. The overall economy, your particular market, your approach, and your level of effort all factor into your success. So because of that, if you pursue any of the strategies that I present, your results could vary significantly from mine. I can't promise you anything. I am saying I think you could be successful at this, but again, you need to understand that there are so many variables here that we can't make any guarantees. That's it for this lecture. Let's move forward to formal lecture number 1 and talk about what we're going to cover in detail for the rest of the program.